of Truth, aka the Black Panther of Nigeria. Today we are discussing about one of the latest news that is trending, which is justice for Christiana in Nigeria. The lady who just lost her life being killed by her boyfriend. That is that even a boyfriend, not a boyfriend, because according to the story, um, it wasn't that way. The story didn't indicate that he was a boyfriend. But let us just dive into the subject in a way, and we need to think as people. You see, I've been seeing this subject rise up where people begin to talk about justice, and I didn't pay attention to it initially. Good morning, CC Motion. Good morning, sir. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for joining. I want to touch on a subject that is trending currently in Nigeria. This morning, I think I saw the message since yesterday or 2 days ago, but I decided not to pay attention to it because there's always going to be problem one way or the other. It has always been that way. Even for us as Nigerians, there's a mindset we have. We call it problem no dey finish. Problem simply means the situations and troubles of life would never end. There's a particular subject that is going on in Nigeria. That's the subject I will be focusing on this morning. Good morning. For those of us who are joining, please double tap your screen and show some like. Oh, I believe CC Motion was the person who liked. Help the algorithm. Bikono. Help my algorithm. Double tap your screen and show some like. Now, according to the news that we had this morning, there was a tragic news that a lady called Christiana Idowu, which is most likely from a Yoruba tribe, was being murdered. A young lady. And I begin to dive in to ask myself, what are the senses in this tragic event? What are the senses in this tragic event? You know, some of my audience has been telling me in the past that, oh, Mr. Kola, or the man of thought, you have to go to Twitter. I think some people advised me to just get a Twitter account and the rest of it. So I went on Twitter and I started looking at news that were trending, and this kind of caught my attention for few seconds. And it was a tragic event. Perhaps I think I have heard about it about 2 days ago. And what was the tragic news? It's the tragic news is that in today's news in Nigeria, I think it is centered around the murder of a young woman called Christiana Idowu, and they said it has sparked more or less an outrage nationwide. Christiana Idowu herself tends to be a student from the University of Lagos. From the University of Lagos. And in August 19, 2024, she went missing. And they said she was being adopted while traveling to the university for her industrial training. Part of the things that they included was that the person who adopted her was a male guy called Ayomide Adeleye, which was a 200 level student at Olabisi Onabanjo University. And here's what they said. They said he lured her into his home under the pretext of seeking shelter from the rain. I repeat, he lured her into his home under the pretext of seeking shelter from the rain. And that got me wondering. You see, it's a sensitive subject, and when you're treating sensitive subjects, you have to tread carefully. But I think at the end of the day, you have to be honest also. The deed has been done. What are the lessons that we can gain from this deed that has been done? Now, I was surprised, first of all, because whenever something happened, or whenever we are reading any part of history, or we are studying anything that has happened in the past, one of the best lessons we can learn is to look at how the events happen, ask ourselves how truthful are those events, and pick the stories in the events, and then find a way to see how we can make sense of it so we don't repeat the same thing. They said Ayomide Adeleye, a 200 level of a different university from Olabisi Onabanjo, which is most likely in Ogun State, lured her into his home under the pretext of seeking shelter from the rain. And I know one thing for sure, that sometimes when the news wants to deliver certain information to the people, most likely I have seen events whereby the law enforcement would not decide to bring out certain information to the public so that the people will be able to see it in one way. Now, you are on the way going to Lagos, and I sympathize with her and the family, but let us look at the story so we can inform other ladies not to repeat the same thing, so they don't get into the same problem. She's going for her industrial training, and she was going there. I believe she was not running from Lagos to that place, so she was most likely in the bus. Perhaps she found herself in a situation where the bus dropped her in a junction, and in the junction that she was being dropped, I think if we want to have a context to the conversation, we should know exactly where the bus dropped her, what junction the guy picked her from, and ask ourselves a question: is there no anywhere she can have, she can stay or relax while it was raining? But what they said is that she was being lured under the pretext of seeking shelter from the rain. And then, this is where it doesn't make sense to me. They said he attempted to assault her. He attempted to assault her. Why would you bring a lady to your house and you just wanted to assault her? And that's the reason. Perhaps he's a psychopath. Maybe. He said he attempted to assault her, and when she resisted the assault, he killed her. Please, if this story that I analyze, if it makes any sense, please tell me. If it makes any sense, please tell me. Lady is going to industrial training. From Lagos, she's going to where she does her industrial training. And then it was raining. And then probably she stopped at a junction. Maybe the bus stopped, perhaps, and it's raining heavily. And a guy came there, and she has no place to hide in the rain. And the guy called her into the pretext of the fact that, oh, come, let me give you a shelter from the rain. And then she went there, and then the guy decided to assault her, and she resist assault, and the guy killed her. Please, if it makes sense, you guys should tell me. Hello, Creed. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I'm talking about one of the news that just came up in Nigeria today, this morning. A news is trending about Christiana, a lady that was being murdered by a guy called Ayomide Adeleye. And the news was going around that she's from the University of Lagos, while the guy is from Olabisi Onabanjo University. This lady had somewhere she's going for industrial training. And while she was going for her industrial training, she entered a bus because I believe she can run from Lagos to Ogun State. She entered a bus, and the bus, maybe they got to a junction, perhaps they did, and she dropped in that junction. Let's say they left her there, and it's raining. She has nowhere she can hide her head. Then she met a guy. A guy said, come, let me shelter you in my house. A guy of 200 level. And then she followed the guy to his house, and the guy decided to assault her, and she refused to be assaulted, and then the guy murdered her. And I'm saying, does this particular stuff make sense? Because the idea, when I look at this conversation, moves towards, yeah, I think she does that also. I think she does that also. She's also an athletic lady. But the story doesn't really make any sense. And if we are trying to protect somebody, who the truth, good morning, thanks for joining. And if we are trying to protect ladies so that they can learn from exactly what is going on, I think it's the same person. Because one of the things I believe is that if you are not learning, you most likely, from the past, you most likely will repeat the same mistake. Yeah. And so they said the guy murdered her. The guy tried to assault her, and the guy murdered her. And I was like, the police are not giving out the full story here. Because we need to know what transpired between them. And so we can give ladies the guideline on how they can survive when they see issues like this. When something like this come up. So the story didn't make sense to me. I sympathized with her. And then they said he was seeking for shelter. He attempted to assault her. And when she resisted, he killed her. Her family, after receiving a ransom demand from that same guy, managed to send 350,000 naira. But Christiana was not released. Police investigation traced the ransom payment to a betting account linked to Ayomide, leading to his arrest. Upon interrogation, Ayomide confessed to the crime and revealed that he had buried Christiana's body at his family's home in Ikorodu, Lagos. This heartbreaking incident has led to widespread social media outrage, and that's exactly where people are speaking justice for Christiana. But for me, everything doesn't make sense. Why it doesn't make sense to me is that how can we tell other ladies to be careful of stuff like this when there is no clear sense of the whole issue? Most likely there's something that we don't know, and the justice people are saying is let them stop the killing. Some people are saying they have to stop the killing against women. Some people are saying let us stop the killing, and that's what is spreading on social media. For me, I'm like, what is the lessons here? And I always tell most ladies, whenever I discuss with ladies, I'm like, why would you go in with people who tends to be a stranger, most especially that tends to be a man? And if it is raining and a man is asking you, a young guy perhaps, not an elderly man with family, not an elderly man with children, not a woman, when a man is giving you offer and this man tends to be strange in this nation that we live where things are very, very difficult, why would you go with such person? This is the angle at which I think most ladies should be seeing these things from. But when we just paint the picture that the guy is a murderer, the narration begins to change that men are evil. I hope we are getting the picture, exactly where I'm coming from. If you take news and you spread news in this way, it makes it seem that men are evil. Whenever man tries to help you, men just want to kill you. And rather, this is how you start having a sentiment. Before you know, we start having what we call gender war. And that's my perception on it. Should there be justice for Christiana? Absolutely. Should the guy... Crit says, I already knew it was going to be like that. Crit says it's called society. And the reason was basically because I was on Twitter, and while I was on Twitter, I saw certain people writing some stuff. Some people were saying justice for this lady, and someone like Idowu was saying it shouldn't be justice for women or stop killing women. It should be let's stop killing. I know this particular incident, a woman is actually affected in the situation, and if a woman is affected, let's look at it actually from the light of a lady. We are two genders, maybe we like it or not. We can't pretend we are all one. We are two genders, and if we open the fact that we are two genders, one of the things we should be able to also do is to look at the fact that what actually transpired. Does she know this person before? Is this person a boyfriend? Who was close to her regarding this issue? Who does she knows around this particular person? Was her family aware of the person before? And these are the sanitizations that women are supposed to be aware of as a lady. If you have a decision to date people, I even think that in the Western culture, regardless of the things that are going on, Young girls who are even dating, their parents are aware of their boyfriends. Unlike Nigeria, some ladies will be dating someone from a very far distance. You just met the person on social media, on a dating app, and you go meet the person. Because the narration doesn't make sense, looking at it like someone is going somewhere. Then you meet someone, a young guy. Perhaps when you see a young guy, you should know that there is a possibility. And now they didn't say something. They didn't say that the guy was even trying to grape the lady. They didn't say the guy was trying to grape the lady. They just said he brought her to the house and he decided to assault her. And when she resists assault, he killed her. That looks like a narration from the law enforcement. And when we lie to our youth and we lie to the children and we lie to people about things like this, stuff like this is most likely going to repeat itself. Because we are not coming out with the real truth. Did he ask for ransom? Most likely. But something transpired. And I've always tell ladies this, that most of Nigerian ladies, do not date someone at least that your family do not know that you are with this person or you are associating yourself with this person, because stuff like this happens in Nigeria. There are a lot of ladies who has gone mad. Why? They dress as a slut, they meet a stranger on the way, and the stranger puts them in the car and they go sleep in that man's place, and the next morning they come out, and when they come out, they drop them in a junction, and before you know, that lady is already mad. She becomes insane. She has been used for ritual. We underestimate the power of our traditions and culture, knowing that there are people who are evil, who can actually utilize certain diabolic things to take advantage of women, to take advantage of people, because it's not just women. And when we do not give our ladies this full information, and rather the news we begin to propagate is a news that has only 40% information inside of it, it doesn't make any sense. I don't care what anybody is saying, the news doesn't make any sense. And trust me, I know Nigerians, some of them will be very angry at my view. But let's say that the young ladies, other young ladies are listening to these issues. If we do not tell them the truth, most of them will begin to think that men are absolutely evil. Stop, because one of the narration that is going on right now is everyone is saying, stop killing women, stop killing women. How many men are actually killing women? Creed says, personally, I only know about Western culture because of movies and social media. I have been there when I was a kid, but I just visited, so I learned about it through TV or social media. I think one of the problem we have in Nigeria specifically is that we are so much good in lying. We are so much good at not revealing the complete truth. Put out the truth to the world, because putting out the truth to the world informs people better. Is this not the issue most people are even facing, even in the Western culture? You just want to make the truth look one way or the other, and before you know, rather than you to be able to inform people so stuff like this do not repeat itself, you tweak everything and you create an unnecessary problem. Right now in Nigeria, one of our issues, because I do not think this is really going to fly. Absolutely. And why I think, regardless of people screaming justice for Christiana, why I think it's not going to fly is basically because Nigeria are in a tight corner right now. Fuel prices has gone up. And whenever fuel prices is up, Nigerians do not think of any other thing than themselves. Say some of it is good, some of it is bad. Yeah, but the truth needs to be told. That's the best we can have. That's the best we can hope for. Hoping for the truth. I decided to just put this out since I know people are screaming justice for Christiana. I'm just like I have to speak my own part and let it go where it has to go. I know people are going to be angry that, oh, I'm not empathetic. I'm empathetic, but I understand also the consequence of not giving us the full picture, because men die every day, and we have seen a lot of men who has lost their manhood due to these diabolic things, and nobody talks about it. Men who have been killed, and people don't really talk about it. So I will be bringing out few of my subjects that I'll be discussing with my audience in the next 30 minutes. I'll be coming back live. I just decided to put this out to people, to the Nigerians who are interested in justice for Christiana, for them to think about it, why they make decisions to fight for it. So give me in the next maybe 20-25 minutes. I will be back on live with today's subject, what I really have to discuss about this morning. Thank you very much for joining. See you in the next maybe 20 to 25 minutes. I'll be back on live. Bye bye for now.